Hello everyone, this is me, Jennifer McCray, your J Shrink, and I'm here. Before we start, please subscribe and comment to my YouTube channel, Jennifer McCray _shrink, and I need for you to just go ahead and just to subscribe, and I can bring you more news on these concerns. So don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe if you and you can comment. Now this video I'm going to show you is close to home to me. As both a psychological professional, a person with a mental illness, I have bipolar disorder, and a mental health advocate. It's heart-rending, and shows and shows a crime that took place, a horrific. I mean, just horrible, unimaginable crime that took place in the county jail at Rockdale County, Georgia. Okay, before I start the video, I'm going to tell you, I myself can understand what happened to this man. Okay, I had one incident when I was in a bipolar disorder, up and down, and this young man, his name is Shali Tilson, died in jail from dehydration. His family says a leaked video shows it was murder. So he died in jail from this misdemeanor disorderly conduct due to the symptoms of his mental illness. And what I want to say is, I had a little incident like this that kind of happened to me, but I was fortunate. Okay, what happened to me? I was in a state of mania. When you're bipolar, you're like a bell curve. So I was in the high state of mania, and I was in the store. I had just gotten paid, and I started becoming real manic, frantic, walking around, throwing around money, just going around and around and around, acting erratically. People were I'm trying to turn the thing on. I guess it's gonna come on. But anyway, people were very disturbed, and the manager was very disturbed because he knew who I was. So while I was just going through this annex and throwing money away and just talking jibbly jabbly and babbling and in a state of mania, saying I was the queen, the manager had called the 911. So he escorted me outside, and there were two vehicles. One vehicle was of a Shreveport Police Department car, and the other was the EMS from the fire department. So the officer, he took me, and he said, and I was lucid at that moment when he told me my lucidity. I got back insight into what was going on. And at first, because I was like, what, why are they doing this to me? Why I was doing this? I'm throwing away, 5s, 10s, 20s. And so he said, well, ma'am, the manager says you were acting erratically and recklessly, and I'm going to give you a choice because you're disturbing the other customers. Either you want to go with me, and we'll put you in the jail, or you can go with the EMS and go to the hospital and be admitted. So at first I kind of fought with them, I'm not going to eat one of them. I'm not going to eat one of them. I'm going to drive my car home. 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 And the man said, ma'am, I'm not going to ask you again. Do you want to go to jail or do you want to go to the hospital and get better? So, and this is a white police officer. Both of them, the police officer and the EMS people were white. So anyway, I said, well, I thought a little bit, like I said, I got some lucidity back, and I thought, oh, I don't want to go to jail. So what I did is I got on I told the EMS, I said, well, I'll go to the hospital and be hospitalized. So I can imagine what happened to Shali Tilson. He was in prison. And I'm going to go ahead and put this over here so you can see it. And I'm going to play a little tape about the incident before I tell you about it.
We house 25% of the world's inmates, but that number doesn't paint a full picture of just how omnivorous our penal system is. At any given time, there are over 500,000 people sitting in jail awaiting trial. People who spend months behind bars without ever having been convicted of a crime. But worse yet, sometimes pre-trial confinement is in itself a death sentence. Which is why today we're going to focus on a case that shows how an unwarranted arrest and bad policing can lead to even worse consequences than the loss of freedom. By the chain of cruelty created by corrupt police.
This is Shali Tilson, his 22-year-old man, 22-year-old young man who was in college, and he was charged with disorderly. I'm gonna let you listen.
Crime can lead to death because prison is so dangerous, and because we have such a terrible cash bail system, leaves many people incarcerated. Now, in the police accountability report, we don't just tell, we show. And unfortunately, what we have to show you is cruel and barbaric. To do so, we'll show you how authorities allowed 22-year-old Shali Tilson to die in prison. Shali Tilson is a young man who had a history of bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Last year in March, the Rockdale, Georgia resident was consumed by a mental health crisis, which led to his arrest. But it's during his confinement where the story really begins. There he was unwatched and ignored as he pleaded for help. He was denied water and mental health care. In fact, his conditions were so dire he was placed on suicide watch. All decisions made by prison staffers that we wouldn't even know about had a good Samaritan not leak the video of his death to the family. The video shows that the staff ignored suicide protocols, even while denying him basic necessities. They denied him water for days. The lights were left on for 24 hours. Ultimately, Tilson died of blood clots in his lungs due to dehydration. Now, I have to give a trigger warning. The portion of the video we're going to show you is disturbing, and I urge you.
And y'all, I'm going to put the link to the video. It's very graphic, sad, and disturbing. I'm going to put a link to the video at the end. A link to that video at the end of this video. Okay? Thank you. Finish listening to the tape.
Difficult to talk about, and we appreciate you speaking with us today. So, first, let me direct the first question to your attorney, Mr. Davis. Can you walk us through what we saw in this video? We saw that he was placed in a locked room with only a grate in the floor with no access to water.
That's him. That's him in the room. He's probably hallucinating, psychotic, just distraught and very distressed without getting any help. They took his father being mentally ill and everything after the stroke.
It's a really bright future. And something that surprised me about this was, and maybe perhaps your attorney, Mr. Davis, can answer this. The Rockdale County Police Department had refused to give you the video of his last days in the jail cell. How did the family get the video?
So, because the case was still at the time, under a criminal investigation, they would not release anything. We have since, now that they have presented, in a special grand jury, we now have a whole records request that we're waiting to be filled so that we can get everything that they have as a part of it. But we didn't have any of the video. In Good Samaritan, someone came forward and said, hey,
Okay, that's it. Okay, basically what happened is, I'll go ahead and read. And read from. I'm going to go ahead and read a story from Cox Media Group. It was dated 10/19/2019. So this just happened recently. I've done stories before on men being dehydrated, starved, burned to death in jail. But this is a promising young man. This young man was, he like I said, he had bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, and he was under control, he had some side effects due to his management, but he and his doctor had a strict diet and exercise program that helped him manage his conditions without the use of heavy medications. So he was getting ready. So he was already he was in Rhode Island. They're from Rhode Island. He was already going to Rhode Island Community College to be a legal aid student, a paralegal. I'm sorry, I can't. Just jippy here, do that. Okay, a paralegal. So he had to come back to Georgia because his father had got a stroke. So he just took that time off. He cared for his father. And I forgot what they said he worked. He worked somewhere. He worked at some type of in some type of museum, I think they said. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read that. A mentally ill inmate whose March death sparked community protests was ignored for more than 3 hours before he was found dead inside his Rockdale County cell in Georgia. Even though deputies were required to check on his condition every 15 minutes, okay? Documents reviewed by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution show. Oh, and I also wanted to say, they didn't say that he showed any signs of suicidal thoughts or anything like that. So I'll go on. The shift was slow and there was little to do. But rather than look inside Shali Tilson's cell, a supervisor falsely logged that he performed the checks. Tilson, 22, tried to summon deputies shortly before his March 12th death by pressing the call button, but a supervisor said it had been broken. According to internal Rockdale Sheriff's investigation, you cannot let the sheriff investigate itself. I mean, that's what happened in all the cases. But anyway, let me go ahead. So, his body had begun to grow stiff by the time they found him naked and surrounded by trash. A supervisor told internal affairs investigators, the report states. Rockdale District Attorney Alicia Johnson said she is reviewing a recently completed Georgia Bureau of investigation to Tilson's death and has sent out additional investigators to gather more information. This needs to be a federal crime by the feds. Okay. "We're trying to run over every stone," said Johnson, who did not comment on the internal investigation. "If that leads to criminal prosecution, so be it." Supervisors recommended one deputy be fired and 4 suspended without pay, according to written reprimands from the sheriff's office, which runs the jail. This was a black sheriff too, one of those coons. The findings of the jail's internal investigation outraged the Tilson's family, who said that the deputies involved deserved harsher punishment. A Rockdale County Sheriff spokesperson declined comment because the investigation is still open. A candidate vigil in the honor of Tilson was done in September 15th. Okay. So the controversy here is more than 500 inmates and detainees have died in Georgia's local jails in the past decade. An investigation earlier this year by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Channel 2 Action News, and the Georgia News Lab found that mental illness played a large role in the parts of each of these deaths, and they may have been preventable if they were, and that the deaths routinely occurred after jail staff failed to recognize or act on the warning system. Warning signs, they give out. He was giving the warning signs all along. It was escalating because they weren't doing anything to help him, and he was frustrated, and everything was going through his mind. So I can completely understand how he was until it was too late. The investigation's finding to Til's death, they resulted in the family saying that he was severely neglected or worse before his death. Tanisha Tilson, his mother, accused the deputies of brutality in a video posted by the Hip Hop Inquirer, an online publication, and complained that it took a month before they received his body. We talked about that, and we talked about the protests that they had on September 15th, decrying Tilson's deaths and the treatment of mentally ill inmates in general. This is about my 4th one I've done, y'all, but this is just recent. And look, you can look through my archives and see where I have some more mentally ill people who were in prison and died. And one of them was in ex-Sheriff David Clark's possession. Okay, so this sheriff, Eric Levitt, replied to Tilson's mother with a March 27th Facebook message urging the public against jumping to conclusion. He angered the Tilson's family. Wouldn't that anger you? He can't get on the phone, or he can't get on the phone and talk to you, but he's gonna use a Facebook message to message you. And he told them that internal investigators interviewed the deputies involved on March 26 and March 27 and released their findings. Okay, so Tilson died from blood clots in his lungs caused by dehydration. A May 14th autopsy found. A medical examiner found 2 injuries in his skull with bleeding on the brain, contusions to his ankles and foot, and red marks on his abdomen. Deputies reported they used force on Tilson 6 times during his 9-day stay at the jail. The sheriff's office has not released details of those incidents. So the signs of mental illness, and this goes back to I talked about his legal studies. But he went to care for his dad who had a stroke. And it said that, his being in jail, the parents are worried he was on the verge of a mental breakdown. He either slept all day or barely slept at all and paced around their home. That's when he was at home when he became psychotic. it looked as if he were, I don't know what it says anyway. But anyway, it says at 8:35 p.m., Sergeant Dan Lane looked inside Tilson's cell. The inmate appeared as if he had stopped breathing. Deputies opened a flap on Tilson's cell door. Corporal Christian Klein told investigators that he aimed his stun gun away from the inmate and fired it, the report said. Let me read this again. Deputies opened a flap door on Wilson's cell door. Corporal Christian Klein told investigators that he aimed his stun gun away from the inmate and fired it, the report said. According to Klein, I just did it close to the step. I just did it close to the flap so he'd be able to hear it, because that would get my attention if I was asleep and wasn't waking up, and you would wake me up, he told an investigator. Tilson didn't move. They opened the cell door and Klein felt his arm, which was cold to the touch. Sarge, I think he's gone, Klein told Lane, the sheriff. They left to call for help. And now this is just ridiculous. Why Sandra Bland, okay? Now this young man, what's going on here? Why did they not do him like they did me? Just take him to the hospital and get him evaluated over there. Why are these jails not doing that? Because he can be have an emergency commitment if he's that out of order. So I just don't understand why they just the young black men, most of them are black men, they just take them to jail and just mistreat them. The poor man was dehydrated. He was hallucinating. He was psychotic. He was afraid, frustrated, and they knew they were supposed to see him every 15 minutes to check on him to see how he was doing, but they just got too lazy and they just filled out just false reports. That's why it took the family so long, Nate, to get the incidents reports of what was happening during those 6 days he was in jail. So I'm not sure of the outcome of this right now, but I'm going to keep you advised of it. And that video I told you that they talked about is extremely graphic. And I'm going to leave a link at the bottom of this video to the video. Be warning, it's very graphic, and I'll leave a link. And to my poor brother, 22-year-old Shali Tilson, rest in peace. Family, I hope you get justice. Somebody, please help these people. Please don't send Lee Mary, and please don't send Ben Crump. Please don't send them. Please don't send them. Please retain your own lawyer, Tilson family. Please do that. Retain your own lawyer, or try to find someone who can help you to find a high-profile lawyer that's not Lee Mary or Ben Crump. This is the sheriff's department. I guess the family is not in forgiveness mode right now. They are in anger mode. They are following those stages of grief that I told you about. They're in number 1, 2, 3. They're in anger. The shock is gone, and all that is gone. They are in anger right now, and they're processing it appropriately. They're going by the steps appropriately. And it's nothing like the Botham Gotham case or the Antatia, I can't say that girl's name, Jefferson's case, where the Mira Meredith and Ben Crump But and I don't know what stage they're in the greed stage. I mean, that's what I saw at that conference that they had, the greed stage. So, but the dad did right. He's processing it appropriately, and he's gonna bury his daughter. He got legal certification to bury his daughter and not stage a show, a Lee Merritt show. Okay, thank you, and please, y'all. I mean, we do get well. But sometimes we need help. We don't need to be put in prison. We need to be taken to the hospital. Like I was given that option of being taken to the hospital. I could have been in the jail and crazy and everything else because I don't know. It's awful. Thank you.